Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It just goes to show you how special this guy is, and I can't figure out why he doesn't cut through like the Tiger Woods of the world in that kind of dominant fashion in years past.
He stepped up to the tee box on the 14th hole, and he was 60-1 to win that golf tournament. You know, he was trailing by 6 shots, and he comes out on top.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Thursday Night Throwdown has begun, as has the college football regular season. We're in full flight right now. The Colorado Buffaloes and North Dakota State are going at it. The second half has just started a couple of minutes ago and has been pretty eventful already so far. Colorado went right down the field, and we're on the verge of scoring a touchdown. And a freak interception. Shador throws the ball low, and it actually hits like the cleats of one of the North Dakota State defenders. And, you know, one of those one in a million type of deals where the ball hit the kid's like shoe and popped up, and they intercepted it in the end zone. So Colorado does not score, but Colorado just got a quick 3 and out. They're getting the football back right now. Colorado really haven't had a hard time scoring, or I should say moving the football when they have the ball. The problem is North Dakota State are dominating the time of possession. We're on North Dakota State plus the points. So far, so good. But like Dave Mustaine said, so far, so good. So what? And we're on the over of the football game, but we also jumped in on the over 71.5, and it's slowed down since we did that. Yet it's right there. It's right there. You get the feeling Colorado's about to score. They just went down the field. It would have been better if they would have scored there for the total, but there's still a lot of football left in this game, and I still think both teams are going to get into the 30s, and I still think this game's going to go over my 71.5, but you can get a better number right now if you're late to the party, or maybe you just want to stand pat with the original total to the over. The current number in this football game right now has fallen all the way to 60.5, and I think that's far too light, right? It's slowed down a little bit, but if you just do the math here, Colorado scores here. Next thing you know, you're at 44. This thing can open up quickly. The key is, can North Dakota State keep scoring in this game? They had a good first half. Can they keep it up? So 2017 right now. So look, we're at 37 points, right? I think it's too much of an overreaction right now. Like at 60.5, 24 points gets you there right now. That to me, that's a good play. I'm already loaded up on this game. Speaking of getting loaded up, we're getting drilled right now. I said, I don't know if Central Michigan should be 32.5-point favorites against anybody. Well, evidently they should be. 66-10 right now. 66-10 Central Michigan over Central Connecticut. That game is a wrap. They were laying 32.5. Fordham and Bowling Green. We talked about this game last night. There was a lot of line movement with this game. Last night it was like 55.5, 56. It closed at 60 tonight. It was 14.5. They ended up closing at 14.5. They were getting 17.5 last night, but the Sharps were wrong. Fordham gets smashed. It's 41-17 right now in the game's final moment of play. So Bowling Green, the game did squeeze over the original number. It's still staying under the closing number of 60 right now. Central Florida, we're a little slow out of the gate, but they're murdering New Hampshire right now, 57-3. Wake Forest up 45-13 on North Carolina A&T. Upset alert, and a big upset alert. NC State, the Wolfpack. Every damn year we hear, the Wolfpack. They're a Wolfpack or a sleeper. And a sleeper for what? You mean they're asleep? I'm old. I've been around a long time. Every year, NC State, watch out for them. They're a sleeper in the ACC this year. No, they're not. Western Carolina. These guys were like 32-point underdogs in this game. They're winning the game outright, 21-17 right now, going into the fourth quarter of play. So forget about covering. NC State's got to worry about winning this football game right now. Arkansas does not have to worry about winning the football game. Arkansas, a wide open, big play. Colorado, like I said, Colorado's passing attack is lethal. They just picked up like 60 yards on a play. Should have been a touchdown, but Shador underthrew it, so the kid had to wait for it. But we'll see if they can punch this in. So, yeah, Arkansas, that's what you got to do if you're a big favorite. Arkansas didn't F around tonight. Arkansas, murdered Arkansas Pine Bluff in the first quarter, and they've been relentless all game long. They're not letting up. They're up 56-0 right now with 9 minutes left in the game, and they're on the 5-yard line. They're looking for more. They're looking, to get up into the 60s here right now. So Arkansas is rolling 58-0. Toledo is up 35-10 on Duquesne now. A surprise. We talked about this game with Julio, who's on scene with CBS Sports Television tonight. Coastal Carolina and Jacksonville State. This is surprising me. Yeah, and listen, it's not like a massive upset or anything like that. It was a 3-point spread. But just the fact that it's a blowout, Coastal Carolina is killing Jacksonville State. Talked about it last night, how Jacksonville State is like the biggest game in program history. They were all stoked. National television. They're getting punched in the mouth, 38-10. We laid the points. We told you I thought if there was one game that would end up with like a crooked, really weird, high score, Arkansas is doing it right now. But I thought Kansas. I figured Kansas would win this game like 59-0, 59-3, 55-0 or something like that, and they would cover the number. They were laying 46.5 last night. They ended up closing at 48.5. As it is right now, Kansas are up 41-0 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter of play. So Kansas should bang off another 2 touchdowns here. And I would expect them to win this game 55-0. Linwood does have the football right now on their own 36-yard line. This was a little bit risky. I decided, when I saw that Murray State were getting 50.5, I said, it's a lot of freaking points, 50.5. But I get it. Missouri can name their score. Touchdown, Colorado. Man, I was going to take Shador Sanders over 2.5 touchdown passes, too. I thought that was like free money, but we've got 1,000,000-to-1 bets going on. All right, so speaking of which, we'll keep people up to date. But I took Murray State plus the 50. And I'm a big Mizzou guy. I think Missouri are really good. But I also thought, you know what? At some point, they'll take the starters out and sort of take it easy a little bit. And I also sort of thought that Murray State could score. That was a premise. I was like, you know what? Murray State won't get shut out. I thought Lindenwood would get shut out. Like, Murray State won't get shut out. Murray State can give us 10 or 14, can't they? No. Evidently, they can't. So we're going to have to hope that Missouri sort of, loses interest as this game goes on, right? It's 38-0 right now for Mizzou. So 2 touchdowns does us in. If Murray State could just put anything on the damn board here. So it's 38-0 right now. And it's right what the point spread is. It's in-game 49.5, and they were laying 50.5 at closing time. North Carolina, Minnesota, we're tied at 7 right now. We got a lot of games going on. The Heels and the Gophers. The Heels scored first. The game was delayed due to weather for an hour. It kicked off at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. It's 7-7 right now. We're pretty much back to where we started. North Carolina are minus 145 on a money line. Gophers are plus 115. Gophers are getting 2.5. The total right now is 47.5 in the football game. All right, let's get to a game that just started. We talked about it last night. Paul Bovey liked Cal State Sacramento. But, every time a guest likes a play on our show, doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with it. But last night when we talked about it, it was 3.5 they were getting. It ended up closing at 1.5. And I personally think that it was too much of an overreaction. And if you looked under the hood at Cal State Sacramento, 10 of their 11 defensive starters are gone. This is a team that gave up over 420 yards a game last year. You got the coach from Navy rolling in here. You got the quarterback coming over from Washington State. I know it's funny. There's a lot of San Jose State are going to be terrible type of talk. And maybe. But I think it's a little bit of a stretch right now. Right now that the game is basically a pick'em, it's a little bit of a stretch. San Jose State have much better talent than Cal State Sacramento do. It's one thing you're getting 3.5. Now you're in a pick'em situation. Really? Okay. Are San Jose State going to lose the first game with their new coach right now? I don't think so. So give me the San Jose State Spartans. So touchdown, Colorado. It's 24-20 right now. In-game total 65.5. Let's roll.
Carlos Alcaraz has won the last 2 Grand Slam titles at the French Open on the clay and at Wimbledon earlier this summer. He enters as the favorite.
You have a bunch of depth there. Francis Tiafoe, Ben Shelton. They will likely play in round 3. The winner would play Djokovic most likely, which would be an incredible match. I like Ben Shelton as a sleeper. If Djokovic is hurt, you never know. I think Shelton could actually be the guy that gets hot. The conditions favor him.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
Not a bad one. The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
We're into a different regime, different ownership, different head coach. I like the head coach. Dan Quinn is a good football man. He has been around where he's been. They have won. Yes, he's had some talent there.
I'm incredibly excited for what this brings to the team. The defense, I think, is underrated. I think this is a good football team. And also, you talk about extending drives. I think Daniels has that ability. And that's something that hasn't been seen in Washington for quite some time.
Fantasy sports today. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Man, whenever you bet on these high totals, it's always a sweat job. The clock always looks like it's ticking fast, and the clock looks like it's ticking fast to me right now. But it's 24-20 for Colorado. There's 7 minutes left in the third quarter of play. It's pretty clear Colorado can score when they get the football, and it doesn't take them long to do it. So if you're North Dakota State, to me, this is kind of the game for them right now on this drive. They get stopped here. Colorado punches another one in. Next thing you know, it's 31-20. It's right on the number. The crowd's going to start getting really lit because, half these drunk kids in the stands have money on this game, and they all laid the points with Colorado, so they can smell blood as far as the point spread is concerned. Now, if you're North Dakota State, you've got to march down the field here and respond, and not with 3. Put a touchdown in because, as I stated, Shador and company are going to be able to move the ball. Nice run, nice play, first down. North Dakota State, critical drive for them right now. So San Jose State and Sacramento State. You wouldn't figure this game would be talked about as much as it is, but it is the late game tonight. It's the last kickoff of the night. It's still scoreless right now. So Paul Bovey was anti-San Jose State as far as the win total on the season was concerned last night. And I'm not putting words in his mouth because the number basically closed to a near pick-em 1 point in this football game. Last night it was 3.5. Should be noted when it originally opened, San Jose State were 7-point favorites, in the offseason. So now I argue that we're getting value with San Jose State. I think the so-called Sharps have overreacted, and I don't think the so-called Sharps realize that 10 of the 11 starting defensive players on Cal State Sacramento are gone. So we'll see if San Jose State will be able to move the ball on these guys. Scoreless right now, 4 minutes into the football game. Cal State Sacramento had the football at midfield. Cam Stewart steps up and in, and I think Cam Stewart fell for Paul Bovey's sell job last night on Cal State Sacramento.
He is a great salesman, Gabe, and I did get a better number because I bet it last night. You're right. And it went all the way down to 1.5, and then it closed on my book at 2.5, but I got a 3. I wish I got the 3.5, but I am on that. Also on Minnesota, they just scored a touchdown against North Carolina. Very, very tight game. They missed a short field goal, should be winning the game. 7-7 with 6 minutes left in the second. And I'm like you on the over in Colorado, North Dakota State. I'll tell you one thing, buddy. Glad we're not on NC State tonight. Wolfpack losing outright as 32-point favorites against the Western Carolina Catamounts. This could be the parlay killer for those people that like to slap that stuff together.
Yeah, and I said earlier, people every year are always talking about NC State being some sort of sleeper and stuff. I'm like, no, they're not. They never are.
We're never a sleeper. No.
Every year, watch out for NC State. Like, what do you mean? Watch out for what? Like, nobody's worried about them. Right? Every couple of years, they'll pull off a little mini upset at home once in the rain or something. But what have they really ever done? Like, nothing. So, but this is bad, though. This is an embarrassment for them. And in fact, we were just talking about it last night. There's so many kids transferring and stuff, but we were talking about who was the kid. He's the new quarterback over at NC State now. Where the hell did he leave from? Let me check the box score. I got so many kids' names in my head here. But it's 45-0 for Missouri right now. This is getting scary. They laid 50 in this game. So if you laid the 50, I'd feel pretty good about it because you got to believe that Missouri are probably going to score again. And I don't know if Murray State are going to score. There's a lot of football left. There's 7 minutes left in the third quarter of play. This third quarter is ticking away a bit here, which I'm not a fan of, with Lindenwood and Kansas. So Kansas closed at 48.5-point favorites. They're winning 41-0. I predicted before the game, Cam, 55-0. So I need 2 more touchdowns to get there to make that prediction come true. It could happen, but I'm wondering, Kansas seemed to be taking the pedal off the metal a little bit now at 41-0. I need them to show some killer instinct, man, and punch another couple of touchdowns in.
You're killing me, Morency. I'm trying to stay away from these Lindenwood games and the big spreads, but right now, kind of looking at it right now, look at Arkansas. They're up on Arkansas Pine Bluff 63-0. That's done. You know what I mean? A lot of these big favorites seem to be covering the numbers.
The favorites are having a good night tonight, for the most part. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of the big time chalk plays are winning. But the night started off with Rutgers, and I got to tell you guys, also these numbers over the last couple of days have been insane. We spent a lot of time talking college football over the last couple of nights. So, last night we were debating, Rutgers is 36.5, and the total was 49.5. Dude, they ended up winning by 38, right? Yep. So, and the number closed tonight at 38.5/39. So it went from 36.5 up to the 38.5, 39. And the total, this is how sharp they are. The total was 49.5 all week. It got bet up to 52.5 tonight. And they end up getting the 52. when it's all said and done. And I said it last night because Rutgers will score late on you. And they did. They scored with 0 seconds left on the clock. Like it was the last play of the game, and they decided to punch it in. And they didn't kick the extra point after, but they ended up winning by 38 when it was all said and done. So they win. It was 44-7. So no, by 37. They win by 37 because they didn't kick the extra point. But Howard ends up covering, right? So Howard ends up covering the number, and the game sort of squeezes over a little bit. Big stop for Colorado. North Dakota State were moving the football, and they got a penalty, and it moved them backwards. It's too bad because they were into Colorado territory. The pressure is starting to get to North Dakota State a bit now. Like now that they're like, all right, this game's getting real. Like I said, the crowd is into it. This is a scary place to be right now, guys, because Colorado's probably going to score. And next thing you know, they're going to be up 11, and then the point spread's going to be up in question. Here's a punt. North Dakota State needs to make something happen here on defense, but this game's getting away from us, and the total's slowing down.
This is the most important thing, and you said in your thing, like, when the good numbers are gone, you either have to figure it out, like you got to jump on it. It's like a prediction of the stock market and go listen, because Gabe, how many of these games end by the hook, by 1 point, whatever. If you're too late to the party, or if you have an early lean or whatever and you like it and you think it's going to go a certain way, you got to pounce on it. Just an example of the Sacramento State game from 3.5 to 1.5 or 2.5. Those are big key numbers, buddy, and they all finish near the number.
This is Sports Rage.
Carlos Alcaraz has won the last 2 Grand Slam titles at the French Open on the clay and at Wimbledon earlier this summer. He enters as the favorite.
You have a bunch of depth there. Francis Tiafoe, Ben Shelton. They will likely play in round 3. The winner would play Djokovic, most likely, which would be an incredible match. I like Ben Shelton as a sleeper. If Djokovic is hurt, you never know. I think Shelton's actually the guy that gets hot. The conditions favor him.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
Not a bad one. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
We're into a different regime, different ownership, different head coach. I like the head coach. Dan Quinn is a good football man. He has been around where he's been. They have won. Yes, he's had some talent there.
I'm incredibly excited for what this brings to the team. The defense, I think, is underrated. I think this is a good football team. And also, you talk about extending drives. I think Daniels has that ability. And that's something that hasn't been seen in Washington for quite some time.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
The Thursday Night Throwdown continues. This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Ron Ace from Ron Ace Sports will join us a little bit later on. Mick Ossie on the radar. Our boy Brent Beard. We'll talk. We're going to break down all these big SEC matchups, which there's quite a few of, and it's kind of strange to remember that, oh, yeah, Texas are an SEC team now, and Oklahoma are an SEC team now. So the Oklahoma Sooners are going to be in action tomorrow night against the Temple Owls. Colorado will get the football back right now with $1:07 left in the third quarter of play. They're up 24-20. This game has slowed down a little bit. Colorado scored a touchdown in the in the third quarter, but that's it. And as I stated, the last drive was massive for North Dakota State. The only plus from it, they can say, well, at least we move the ball to midfield. If they can get a stop here and play the field position game, maybe North Dakota State has something to hang their hat on. But it's hard for these FCS teams to close the deal, right? It's one thing to hang around in the first quarter, the second quarter, and then the third quarter, but the talent gap and the speed gap adds up as the game goes on. It just does. And it becomes a problem for the FCS team. So 24-20, under a minute left. Man, this quarter went fast. North Carolina State staving off the upset alert right now. They're up 30-21. So they've calmed things down. They're not going to cover the spread, but I was going to say, but they don't care. But maybe they do. Maybe some of the kids are going to be mad, and maybe they bet on themselves, for all I know.
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
Central Florida's killing New Hampshire 57-3 right now. Kansas, man, we need Kansas to punch this in. They're moving the ball right now. They're up 41-0. Mizzou is up 45-0 on Murray State. 7-7, North Carolina, Minnesota right now. But Minnesota are moving the football on the verge of scoring. And the Hornets have scored on the Spartans. So it's 7-0. Good start for Cal State Sacramento. This game, there should be points. Listen, the total was high in this game. The total was 60.5. I would have bet the over. I just thought it was a little high. But Cal State Sacramento's defense isn't very good. But their offense is pretty good. So as we saw, they put points up on the board. We'll see if San Jose State is able to respond and get this party started. For the total, new in-game total is 66.5. New number right now, you get San Jose State. The Spartans are plus 4.5, plus 145 on the money line. Cal State are now minus 180, minus 4.5. Illinois are up 17-0 on Eastern Illinois right now. They're laying 29.5 in this game, in-game right now. There's under 5 minutes remaining. You know, the total is 47.5. Illinois' defense is really good. So Eastern Illinois is going to have a hard time scoring in this football game. I think an in-game under would be worth a look. It just fell to 47.5. They've just frozen it. It's like they're listening to me. They just locked it up. But this game, like I said, guys, Illinois aren't the type of team they're going to get in the 50s either. So they run the ball so much, and Belima will be happy with like a 38-0 win or something. So I would look at the in-game under if you guys got access to it. It keeps dropping as it's locked. They just moved it to 46.5 right now. And even though I'm all in on this college football card, we do have Major League Baseball going on. Dodgers, kind of a weekend lineup tonight. They kind of, I'm not going to say they tapped out tonight, but there's a lot of their starters aren't playing tonight, the Dodgers. And you got the Royals and the Astros in a big-time matchup, 3-3. Any baseball for you, Cam?
No, I actually, you know what, Gabe? I do have the over in Baltimore, L.A., and I got buyer's remorse. It seemed like too good to be true with these pitchers, but you brought up a good point. Looking at the lineups, maybe there won't be as many runs in this game, and the total's already dipped to 7.5. Not a big play. I might take a look. Like, Houston's probably going to take a lead right here. I'm seeing the Royals live at plus 350. I think that's ludicrous. I know Houston's a good home team, but something to keep my eye on there. But we got college football going on right now.
Houston have runners on second and third with one out right now. So they're minus 500. So there's one out. But, hey, if the Royals could be if you think the Royals can get out of this inning, great odds because they're going to freaking plummet if they get out of this inning. I'll be curious to see what it goes to. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with the Dodgers tonight. Like I said, they're tired, rest, there's injuries. Freeman's hurt right now too. But the Dodgers, if you look at the back end of their lineup tonight, like pretty much the only real guys that are playing are basically Ohtani and Betts. If you look after that, like Barnes is in for Will Smith. There's no Teoscar Hernandez. There's no Freddie Freeman. It's not the regular Dodgers lineup tonight, which is strange for a Thursday night game.
Carlos Alcaraz has won the last 2 Grand Slam titles at the French Open on the clay and at Wimbledon earlier this summer. He enters as the favorite.
You have a bunch of depth there. Francis Tiafoe, Ben Shelton. They will likely play in round 3. The winner would play Djokovic, most likely, which would be an incredible match. I like Ben Shelton as a sleeper. If Djokovic is hurt, you never know. I think Shelton could actually be the guy that gets hot. The conditions favor him.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about
Not a bad one. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
We're into a different regime, different ownership, different head coach. I like the head coach. Dan Quinn is a good football man. He has been around where he's been. They have won. Yes, he's had some talent there.
I'm incredibly excited for what this brings to the team. The defense, I think, is underrated. I think this is a good football team. And also, you talk about extending drives. I think Daniels has that ability. And that's something that hasn't been seen in Washington for quite some time.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
This is SportsRage, the Thursday night throwdown. Colorado moving the football right now. They're at midfield, and it's frustrating. It's one of those, whatever. And fortunately, I'm going to be covered because the number closed, and I said, you know what, I'm going to add a little bit to this. But it's that slow death in a football game. It's the worst. Like if you have money on the over, like every time it's like 2nd and 9 or something, they get 8 yards. And it becomes like 3rd and 1, so it takes longer. So then they get the first down, and it's rinse and repeat. There's been a bunch of times, man, where they set it up where it's like 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and then they run again, and then they sort of reset the clock again. Like Colorado's not in a hurry up suddenly here. They're taking their time. There's 12 minutes left in a football game, 24-20. And it's a fun game, though. It's a pretty well played game. All right, let's bring in Mick Aussie right now. Now, as I was saying, Mick loves the NFL. He loves the CFL. Not much of a college football guy, but I was saying, we got to find Mick a school, a team. And I was thinking, what team, like if you were going to a university in the USA, which would be the best school for you, Mick? Like who you should be a fan of. But remember in the old days, it was your boy Bennett was like the only Australian kicker. And it's crazy, Mick. Now this year, there's only 134 teams. There's 134 teams in college football. There's a lot of them. 67 of them, Mick, have Australian punters. More than half. Think about like where it started from years ago. You're from there. From where it started to where we're at now, where it's like basically like it used to be the Australian kids would come to America and go to Florida to the kicking camp or whatever. Now it's like the American kids are going to Australia to the camp. It's like, what I mean? If you want to be a punter, you have to go to Australia and learn from them and then come back. But, like, it's weird, though. Not field goal kickers, which I find interesting. Not field goal kickers, Mick. They just trust the Aussie kids to just boot the ball, and they like the flight because you Aussie guys can kick. Well, you grew up kicking, playing AFL. Yep. You can get that nice flight, airtime, right? And you can boot the ball, but more than half, like right now, half of the kickers in NCAA, Mick, punters, are from Australia. It's insane.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Pro Kick Australia have done fantastic, and they charge quite a bit of money for the guys to try out there and train there, but they've done well. Darren Banner also on his own is doing schools and camps as well. But yes, it's the Aussie football, the end over end, which we use in the AFL. But this is interesting. The screw punt, we call it, or what the NFL style punt, that's not used in AFL hardly at all now. So these kids are kicking and learning the NFL style down there. So that's a little bit confusing. Whereas back in my day, my dad's day, you'd boot a torp, we call it a torpedo, and you kick it 60 metres and maybe kick a goal after the siren, right?
Another thing is, too, you guys playing AFL-style football, used to kicking on the run, which
Yes.
and you'll notice in the NFL, Mick, they don't like that, right? NFL, the kicker, get rid of the ball right away. Don't run around. Don't screw around. It's almost like a goalie playing a puck outside the crease. Don't screw around, right? You're not as fast as everyone. Don't play around with the ball. College is different. These college special team coaches, they love the Aussie kids, and they basically tell them, catch the ball, run and roll out and pick up more yards and then boot the ball on the run. And because it's in their blood. Like, it's natural. Yeah, sure. All right, we'll roll out. You want me to kick it? Fine. And it's harder to return. It switches up like the coverage for teams. They can't really set up because they don't really know. Is the kicker going to kick it here? Is he going to roll out? You know what I mean? Is he going to kick it high? Is he going to kick a line drive? Like the Aussie kids, the kickers can mess with people a bit. And that's the big advantage. And people are wondering why there's so many Aussie guys. Watch, next time you watch these college football games, guys, watch how many of the punters roll out when they kick, right? They try to, like, pick the spot to kick the ball to. NFL, man, bullets are flying so fast. It's like, just get rid of the freaking ball, bro. Otherwise, it's going to get blocked, right? So get rid of it. Colorado continues to move the ball I was going to say big tackle, but no, he broke the tackle. And it's just taking a long time, too, so it's frustrating. All right, so, Mick, we got to find you a favorite university and a team to pull for.
I got one.
There's 134 of them.
Who would you pick for Mick? I'll tell you mine, but you go first.
It's very tough. I don't want to give him a crap school, so I'm thinking of, like, good teams.
Mick seems like a West Virginia guy to me. He's hardcore, no BS, party a bit. Yeah.
I'm going to say, Mick, I'm going to give you, even though they're going to be rivals of my team, I'm going to give you the Oregon Ducks, Mick. Nice team.
That's pretty flashy
Oregon Ducks.
for him, though.
No, Oregon Ducks, and it's a perfect fit. Bo Nix coming from Oregon, and you quarterback. Nice Pacific Northwest team for you, Mick, and they're not a bad team. Yeah. And you know what? You'd like going to party on that campus and stuff. A lot of hot girls, they like to party there.
That's true.
See, Gabe, your brain is working because they have been my team for a long time. The Soli was there, I believe, and
Vernon Adams.
Dude, that's right, Vernon Adams.
The Ducks have a big Canadian Football League connection. Like you said, Jeremiah Masoli is the quarterback on Ottawa. Vernon Adams with the BC Lions both played with the Ducks. Yeah, I know you, Mick. I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to give Mick the Ducks here. I'm going to give you the Ducks. And I figured, too, it's a good fit with your boy Bo Nix. Now is the quarterback. All right, so let's get an update here. In-game total is 58.5 now.
The guy from Miami was an Oregon Duck, too. From Miami, Javon Holland. He's an Oregon Duck. There's tons of Canadians. That's a good call. Very good call.
Dear God. Arkansas is winning 70-0. They really did not stop and take the pedal off the metal.
Yeah, they're like, Pine Bluff, we're going to absolutely destroy you.
They scored 2 touchdowns in like the last 4 minutes. That's almost jerked them. It's like, yeah, you know what? We're not. Yeah,
right. It's mean.
No, I like it. The boosters are happy. Everyone that bet on the game there leaves the stadium happy. It gives like a positive vibe for Arkansas fans. We rolled 70-0 tonight. Local talk radio will be buzzing. We look great. We're going to go to the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? I like their style, how they started off the season. All right, so speaking of which, Kansas are up to 48 right now. 48-0 Kansas, but there's 9 minutes left in the football game, and Lindenwood do have the football at midfield. So Kansas are probably going to take the pedal off the metal now that it's 48. Missouri are up 48-0 on Murray State with 13 minutes left in the game. New point spread is 53.5. The Minnesota Golden Gophers are now 6.5-point favorites over North Carolina. They're up 14-7. In-game total is 45.5. Tulsa Tulsa's winning 48-21 right now over Northwestern State early in the fourth quarter of play. Tulane ain't playing around tonight. 42-0. They're beating Southeastern Louisiana. Wow. Illinois just exploded for 2 quick touchdowns. 31-0 Illinois with a buck left in the first half. And, Paul Bovey and Cam Stewart are looking good. Cal State Sacramento Hornets 14-0 over San Jose State right now.
Pump the brakes. It's early game. A lot of football left. So
yeah, here San Jose State moving the ball. They're into Hornet territory. This game might turn into a track meet. This might be a track meet game tonight. Listen, Cal State Sacramento are doing their part. It's time for San Jose State to put some points on the board.
I'm going to try to middle this game, I think. If I can get a big enough number on San Jose State, this game's not over. It's 14-0. So
it's weird, though. It's like they know something. They're only giving 7.5 now.
Yeah, I need more.
Right? It says 14. So they're the computer's hanging on that the Spartans aren't done yet. You know what I mean? This is a big drive here, though. They got to put points on the board, and then it'll start to get going. All right, here's a pass into the end zone. And incomplete, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up. Colorado just went for a TD pass in the end zone. Fun football game. All right, we'll get mixed CFL picks. So we'll get some CFL talk in here. Rivalry weekend, AFL playoffs next week, right? And in fact, they start when the NFL regular season starts next Thursday.
Carlos Alcaraz has won the last 2 Grand Slam titles at the French Open on the clay and at Wimbledon earlier this summer. He enters as the favorite.
You have a bunch of depth there. Francis Tiafoe, Ben Shelton, they will likely play in round 3. The winner would play Djokovic most likely, which would be an incredible match. I like Ben Shelton as a sleeper. If Djokovic is hurt, you never know. I think Shelton's actually the guy that gets hot. The conditions favor him.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup ball. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about
Not a math bud. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
We're into a different regime, different ownership, different head coach. I like the head coach. Dan Quinn is a good football man. He has been around where he's been. They have won. Yes, he's had some talent there.
I'm incredibly excited for what this brings to the team. The defense, I think, is underrated. I think this is a good football team. And also, you talk about extending drives. I think Daniels has that ability. And that's something that hasn't been seen in Washington for quite some time.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
First and goal for the Colorado Buffaloes. And like I said, how long is this freaking drive taken? In the first half, they went from the 5-yard line down the field in like 38 seconds. And now it's like, you know what I mean? Like I said, this whole drive, I think they must have like 6 or 7 first downs on this drive. It's just been dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. And they keep on getting like barely what they need. They're about to punch it in here, though. Here's throwing in the end zone. And there's a flag, so it's going to be first and goal from the half-yard line. It's going to be 31-20 in a second here, guys. And this is going to get shaky, and depending on what you played. And, if you bought something, what number did you get, and all that other fun, stupid stuff at this time of the year. So, Mick Aussie in the house with us. All right, let's get to the CFL. No CFL tonight, no CFL tomorrow. I'm going to be in Vegas, actually. And I realized, oh, good, I'll see the BC Lion game on Saturday night. I'll have to probably watch it on my phone because I doubt they're going to have it up in the sports book considering all the big college games going to be going on. But big game, Mick, in Victoria with the Red Blacks and the BC Lions. And I've never been to Victoria before. I wanted to go to this game, but I'm not going to be here. And it was freaking crazy, Mick. Like, flights from Vancouver to Victoria, bro, were like $800 one way. Hotel rooms were like $1,000. Like, Victoria is not that big, so all the nice hotels got taken. And the airlines are crooks, so they knew people were all going, like, that weekend for the football game. So I was like, you know what? Our boy Darsh is going to the football game with his family. And Victoria is beautiful, so it's going to be one of those great settings, Mick, like they did in the Maritimes there before. But I saw the pictures of the field. Looks beautiful. Great, beautiful setting on the island there. But big game, man. BC have lost 5 in a row. Who do you like, Mick, Ottawa or BC?
I actually like BC to come out and win well, but Victoria, yes, I took a ferry across there, played Aussie football, got kneed by a rugby guy, so he hurt me pretty good. Yeah, so I got bad memories of Victoria, but Tamara Anderson from out that way. But
Victoria's gorgeous.
You got kneed there pretty badly, so you got bad memories.
Exactly.
He kneed me right in there. And it blew up like this.
Kidney shot. That's dirty. That's a dirty play.
Yeah. I was a bit old to be playing anyway. But yeah, land of the old people, the college kids, and the big garden. But anyway, big news is Kelly Masterbates got let go by Detroit Lions. So maybe he signs back at the BC Lions. He was a star at pass rusher last year, but they reckon that Montreal only might pay up big money because he's from Quebec, right? So,
he already signed. He signed with the Lions from one Lions to another. He went to the BC Lions to the Detroit Lions. He was one of the last cuts of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And he got a big money deal instead of just hanging around on the practice roster, which is a smart move, I think, right? You saw what happened with Nate Rourke. Just, if the BC Lions want to pay you freaking $400,000 a year, $500K a year, just take it, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they do pay pretty well, defensive linemen. And he had it's the most sacks. So BC season was sort of slipping away, but you see their owner spending money. Let's bring Nate Rourke in. Let's bring Matthew Betts back here. So this is a late season push. They're 2.5-point favorites right now in this game. Ottawa, just every week, Ottawa are disrespected by the point spread. And every week, Ottawa just wins. And then the next week, people say, but this is different this week. They just played last week. So, if BC can't win this game, like, they got serious problems. 6 losses in a row, back-to-back to Ottawa. Hell, you're playing on the West Coast of Victoria. This isn't easy for Ottawa to get out there. That's quite the trip for the Ottawa Red Blacks. It's down to 2.5. Have to take BC in this game. What's your pick, Ken?
I'm with you guys. I think BC, this is it. Like, I expected them to play better. Rourke was not great in the first game. You talked about it, Morency. He was fantastic in the first quarter of the game. BC, they got to protect the quarterback. They got to get it done. This is a great call again. Getting to Victoria is no cakewalk. Ottawa, you got to get in there. You got to get over there. It's not going to be fun. A lot easier for the Lions. This is the week. I like the fact that the line went down. Kind of interesting because people thought it was high at 3. Give me the Lions to win this game by a touchdown. BC, please.
Yeah, if you're to be Ottawa, you got to go from Ottawa to Vancouver to Victoria.
It's a nightmare.
It's almost like one of these, like they're like Delaware State going to Hawaii or something.
Yeah, it's a torture trip. You're going to get to Ottawa to BC. That's a 5.5-hour flight. Then you got to get on a ferry to go to Victoria.
Yeah, and then after, imagine telling the players, are we here yet? No, we're not here yet. This place is like 6 hours away from here.
That's a good point.
Wow, they scored. They scored. Travis Hunter scores again. Should give him a penalty for the dance here. It's a little excessive. Come on, as someone with North Dakota State, but wow, that was just torture. And so depending on what number you got, guys, right? I mean, it was 9.5, it was 10, it was 10.5, it was briefly 11, and it was 10.5. And I actually played, as everyone knows, I've lost enough, like by a hook here and a hook there. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to get a piece of, I'm going to add a little bit to it here. So I've got a plus 13 here at minus 145 with North Dakota State, which I'm in good company right now. But there's still 8 minutes left, and Colorado could score again, actually. I also have a North Dakota State plus 10, but I have less on that. The book had a stupid little free bet. It was like, place a bet on North Dakota State and Colorado, and if you lose, we'll give you your money back. So I was like, all right, I'll just take the 10 points here on with North Dakota State. Like,
that's a good offer. I like that.
Yeah, it was called the safety net. So I was like, all right.
Oh.
But, it wasn't that. It was limited. So then I bet it again for real. I was like, you know what? I didn't like the 10.5. I was going to make it 11, Cam. And then I was like, it's actually closed at 11. And I was like, man, I can get 13 at minus 145. And here we are, bro. It's an 11-point game right now, and that little 2 points feels pretty good that I bought.
I'll defend you on this, Morency, and I don't do it as much, but I still do it too. I'm sick and tired of doing shows with people about buying points, you're an idiot and whatever. Do things that you want to do. And these numbers are so damn sharp, especially recently. I don't mind it at all.
Well, especially the TV games, Cam. The TV games are sharp. So, like you don't buy points in like a Lindenwood game or something like that. But like a primetime TV game, guys, the odd makers are pretty close to this. They know what they're doing, as we see. Right?
Like, think about this, Gabe.
You want that little bit of cushion here.
Like West Virginia is 8.5, 9. I'd even bring it up to 10, a flat 10, and pay a little bit. I don't care.
At least to the 9, yes.
Carlos Alcaraz has won the last 2 Grand Slam titles at the French Open on the clay and at Wimbledon earlier this summer. He enters as the favorite.
You have a bunch of depth there. Francis Tiafoe, Ben Shelton. They will likely play in round 3. The winner would play Djokovic, most likely, which would be an incredible match. I like Ben Shelton as a sleeper. If Djokovic is hurt, you never know. I think Shelton could actually be the guy that gets hot. The conditions favor him.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Hey, let's say it comes down for Matt Kuchar in the FedEx Cup fall. Let's say he doesn't make a cut, and it comes down to one shot. And
that's a good point.
And he keeps his card for the top 125 because he did make the jump from, I think it was 113 to 103. So he made a 10-spot jump. So he's got, 17, or let's see, that was not good math. He's got about 20.
Not a math bot. The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
We're into a different regime, different ownership, different head coach. I like the head coach. Dan Quinn is a good football man. He has been around where he's been. They have won. Yes, he's had some talent there.
I'm incredibly excited for what this brings to the team. The defense, I think, is underrated. I think this is a good football team. And also, you talk about extending drives. I think Daniels has that ability. And that's something that hasn't been seen in Washington for quite some time.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
$31-20, 5.5 left in the football game. North Dakota State are moving the ball. They're in the Colorado territory, but they got to pick up the pace. It's a lot of little dink and dunk, hurry up stuff, but it's third down right now, so it's like third and short. Obviously, we're in 2-down territory here, but if I'm North Dakota State, get the first down, and you've got to start taking a couple of deep shots. Like this over the middle stuff's been there all day for them for the most part, but Colorado are kind of giving you that. I think, They're Dion knows. All right, let's not get beat deep and just give them this over to the middle of the field stuff. Oh, boy. They just ran on 3rd and 2, and they got stopped. It's 4th and 1. 4th and a long one coming up here.
This feels set up.
This is the game.
It's so
We've
seen this movie before. Come on.
Oh, yeah, watching they cover by half a point. I know, and the game goes under. Let's see. Oh, my God.
Touchdown?
Wait, what are the referees doing? What just happened?
Shady.
Oh, I think they called timeout. Oh, my God. Dude, it was 4th and 1. The quarterback ran a sneak up the middle, and no one stopped playing. And he got hit, and he bounced back, and he popped out and he was running for a touchdown. He was gone. I'm like, oh, my God, this is great. Then he stopped. I'm like, oh, my God, what happened? I think the North Dakota State coach just screwed himself and called a freaking timeout right before. He did. I'm pretty sure it was him. God. Wow. All right. Carlos Alcaraz is down 2-0 right now. He's up 40-love, though, in the first game here of the third set. He's currently minus 188. And Bodik van Zandschulp.
Great
This
name.
guy. I got to come up with a new one. BVDZ. That's his nickname. Bodik van Zandschulp.
Oh, that is so Dutch. That is
that's
the
a tough
Dutch name I've ever heard. Van der
tough
Zap, and it's very tough. He's playing well. I've been watching him play.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but Alcaraz minus 188 for a reason. He'll get back in this. All right, so before we get you out of here, Mick, we got about 3 minutes only here. My bad. So CFL football, you got the BC Lions. What about the Elk game? The Elk and the Stampeders, massive game. Who's going to win the game? Battle of Alberta.
Oh, look, I think if Trey Ford starts, absolutely the Elks will win. And even with Bethel Thompson, I still think we can. We've done well, actually, just about every game. They nearly beat your Alouettes, who were top. Nice. They didn't score in the second half, though. Your mate, Rick Serratelli, better watch out for that Stampede horse running up and down. Otherwise, you'll get cleaned up. But I think they will win. The Elks can absolutely win that. Stamps are not that good this year. Well, they're 4-6, so... Big battle of Alberta. I'm not going this year, but I'll be watching every minute on TV. I normally go, actually. I've been to so many of them. It's a lot of fun.
If Edmonton's going to make the playoffs, they need to win this game. And they go back-to-back against Calgary. This is season-defining for both these teams. The West is still right there right now for everybody. Okay, so we're into the AFL Final Series, a.k.a. their playoffs. They start Wednesday overnight, so Mick will be with us. Mick will be with us next week, but we'll get a pick for the Wednesday night / Thursday. Overnight Thursday Australia, Wednesday overnight North America. Port Adelaide and the Geelong Cats. Port Adelaide, Mick, are minus 200 favorites. Geelong are plus 160.
Yeah, look, Port Adelaide, they finished second. It's at their home ground at Adelaide Oval. They got a gun midfield. They got 3 absolute superstars. Geelong rely on a few really good older players, including Cameron and, as you know, Dangerfield. I think Port Adelaide will win it, but don't be surprised because Port Adelaide have had a bad finals record the last few years, and if those Star Cats players play up well and bring the young kids in, Cats can win, but no, I'll go for Port Adelaide. Probably cover the 12.5, but go on the money line or 1-39 would be the safest bet there.
All right, Mick, we got about 40 seconds. The future odds: Sydney are plus 275 to win the championship. Great Western Sydney are plus 450. Port Adelaide are 5-1. Brisbane 7-1. The Cats are 8-1. Western Bulldogs 9-1. Hawks 10-1. Carlton Blues 25-1. Who do you think wins the grand final, Mick? You got 20 seconds.
All right, Sydney were the best team all year. They've been down. I still like them to get it back and win it. But the winner of the Hawks and the Dogs game, they could go all the way. This is the most open year for any team to win it. I also like the Lions or the Giants and the Cats as well.
Thanks, Mick.
Later, Mick.